Okay, today we're going to be checking out Fomo, a Fraghead's Asylum, which, if you guys are unaware, the Fomo fragrance line is a new brand that has been launched by FRAGRANCEBUY, the people over there, and they've got 3 of them so far. I covered Gary's Den in a previous video back when they did their last drop, or their first drop, in August. And Gary's Den is heavily inspired by Dior Homme Parfum. Fantastic one, much needed in the community because DHP is sought after, it's expensive, it's a rarity, so it's nice to finally have something that's going to be more obtainable at a way better cost. And this one also fills a void which hasn't been tackled too heavily. There's one that I know of that smells very similar to Elysium, but that's about it. There aren't too many clones of it out there, but this one gets you really close at a great price with impressive quality. So yeah, we've got something very similar to Elysium here. You can even tell by the gradient and the color of the bottle. We're going to fully dive into this one today. So, you know, Elysium is kind of the entry-level Roja scent. It's one that is pretty easy to pick on, pretty easy to hate, just because it's kind of in the more blue fragrance world and you know, coming from a niche brand. That's boring and that's lame is kind of what the critics would say. But I think it's a great scent. It's actually one of my favorites, and I have multiple bottles. I got one for free from them, but I purchased the others, couple parfums, couple parfum colognes, and so I've spent a lot of money on it. I've worn a ton of Elysium over the years. So I love the smell, but also just, it's a great entry-level scent. It was my first Roja that I ever purchased. It was my first one that I ever smelled. It's a great entry level into the more premium niche world, and so it's a great starting point for a lot of people, and I think that's why a lot of people gravitate towards it. And even now for me, after years later of having a bunch of others, it's still one that I wear heavily throughout the spring and summer. But you know, even at that more entry-level price with the Parfum Cologne, it still retails for $290. On discounters, it's $230, $240. Still pretty pricey. The Parfum is $485 at retail. And on discounters, usually, I don't know, I've seen it for as low as $240 for the 50 ml Parfum, and I've seen it upwards as $300. I think that's what I paid for mine back in the day. And so we finally got something that's close, and we're going to run through this here, starting with the smell. It opens up with that lemon, the fruits, the citrus, all of that stuff all at once, okay? It's strong, powerful, very impactful citrus here. Fruits, the black currant is giving it a little bit of a sweet variety. One thing you'll notice pretty quickly that they got down amazingly well is the vetiver. So Elysium, to me, is very heavy on the vetiver. That's part of what makes it stand out so much. And I've said this before, but part of what makes maybe some other scents smell similar to Elysium, usually the common denominator is they're using a similar type of vetiver. You know, believe it or not, that's kind of what it is the vetiver that's used in Elysium is very specific. You get a ton of it around a bed of citrus as well. And so when another designer or another clone brand or whatever uses that same type of vetiver compound and uses some similar citruses, it comes together, and maybe it's very close, other times it's more nuanced, it just depends. You know, like for me, Hugo Boss Reversed, I've always said was kind of similar to Elysium. People take that and think that I mean it's a 100% clone. Never claimed that, never said that, but similar. And what does it use heavily? A lot of vetiver. You get some citrus, some grapefruit as well, and some aromatics like a rosemary in there, and even like an ambroxan twist using ambergris in Elysium, ambroxan, whatever. So that's kind of what it was there in reverse, that vetiver compound. And so they did the same thing here. They got that very similar vetiver, which really gets it in that ballpark. You know, as it starts to dry down further and further, you start to get, you know, a little bit more of a woody component aside from the vetiver. So some other woods like a cedar wood, that sort of thing. Some musks, some ambroxan, all of that stuff, but still remains fresh, still maintains kind of a citrus forward dominant smell. You know, one of the things that's nice about this DNA is it's super wearable. Even though it's niche or niche inspired, it's still something that people are going to love the smell of and something that you can wear for any situation. When it comes down to this one, it is a parfum concentration. So that's what all of the Fomos are here. It's an extrait de parfum, and it delivers big time on that performance. That is one thing that, you know, has kind of been a point of contention for Elysium, especially the Parfum Cologne, is the performance. I've never had an issue with it personally, but I know some people have, and so if that was one that didn't do too well for you and you didn't want to spend the big bucks to step up to the parfum, then you could go for something like this, which is giving you that parfum concentration, but at a lower price, and you're getting significantly better performance. For me, this has been a 9-10 hour scent in terms of longevity. Projection is kind of moderate. It's one where in the heat it will do better. It will push out more room temperature, mild temperatures. It stays more in your personal bubble, but leaves a pretty nice hefty trail. You know, this one, the quality is amazing on it as well. I think you're paying somewhere around $29, maybe $30 for this one. I know Gary's Den was the more expensive one at like $37. I think this one and the other was a little bit less. So somewhere around in there, fantastic price, especially up against, you know, actual Elysium itself. And so I would say if you're looking for something that's very similar, great performance, great quality, all of that stuff, check out Fomo, a Fraghead's Asylum. With this and their others, they are kind of put out in batches or like launches. So, you know, it'll pop up and then sell out, pop up and sell out. Right now it should be back, or at least coming up it will be back in stock. I would grab yours now if you're considering it before it sells out again, because I don't know when their next drop will be. You know, like I said, it was in August for the first one, now kind of end of September for the second one here. I don't know what the future holds for this and the others, but it's one of those deals where if you want it, you might want to look into it. And this is the type of thing that you can toss in your gym bag, keep with you, carry around with you if you just want a nice premium refresher without carrying around your actual Elysium. That's where it can really come in handy. You know, I don't want to necessarily toss my whole bottle of Elysium in a book bag or something when I'm traveling. You know, I could go for something like this, and at least if something were to happen with it, I'm not invested nearly as much to replace it, or if it got stolen or broken or whatever. And so that's kind of one way to look at it. Or like I said, if the performance of Elysium was something that didn't work well with you, this would be worth a try. Better concentration when compared to the Parfum Cologne, and maybe it'll do better for you. So I will link this one down below. Like I said, it should be in stock now. If it's not, it will be soon. Jump on my mailing list and texting list and I'll notify you. Same with Gary's Den and the other one, the MFK Grand Soir alternative. They're all fantastic and definitely recommended. And also, I like to throw this out there. I did purchase these all with my own money. This was not a paid or endorsed review. As soon as they came in stock, I bought all three and then been working my way through them since then. So this is just my thoughts. I knew they were going to be good because I know that they've been working on them for a long time, and they just do a really good job over there providing great fragrances at great prices. And so I have my hopes pretty high, and they have delivered big time. Very impressed, especially the quality. You know, a lot of cologne brands out there these days, a lot of them are doing a good job, but these really do stand out as well. You wouldn't guess that this is a $30 scent. You really wouldn't. I think if you were blindfolded and you were given this and you smelled it, you wouldn't guess it was 30 bucks. To me, it's more in line of a, $70, $80 scent. It really is impressive stuff. That's going to do it for me, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy. We'll see you tomorrow with another one. Take care.